What if the biggest missed opportunity in alumni engagement is floating in the Caribbean right now?
What if your next donor cultivation strategy didn't involve another banquet, but a sail away party?
What if the missing slice in your advancement portfolio isn't another event on campus?
But a shared experience at sea that builds connection long before major gifts are on the table.
Today, we're talking about alumni cruises and why they might be the smartest, untapped strategy in higher education engagement. Welcome back to One Slice at a Time, the podcast where we talk travel one slice at a time. I'm Ryan Joy, a travel agent with expertise in large group travel, including university alumni.
And I'm Stephanie Picosta, also a travel agent, and I specialize in big multi-gen families that love to travel together.
While I've planned trips for universities, it strikes me that Stephanie's multi-gen family experience is very much the same. At universities, we set goals to bring people together and create memories that encourage a stronger connection between an alum and the institution, whereas Stephanie brings people together to create family bonds.
That's right, Ryan. And who hasn't referred to themselves as part of the Notre Dame family or the Cornell family or the Duke family? These alumni associations are the ultimate multi-gen trip. And today, why we're focusing on those alumni trips. Last week, we reviewed Royal Pacific Resort at Universal Orlando. We broke down whether the Express Pass inclusion makes it worth the extra cash. My family did Royal Pacific together, and as I reflect on that trip, I'm super excited to dive into alumni families this week.
But even if you're not in that university alumni space, stay with us because this conversation is really about community building for any group where you may have an affiliation. The Elks Lodge, the German Club, the Wine Club, the Book Club, the Country Club, Quilting Club, Pickleball Club, Sandwich Club, Pizza Club, Beer Club, Ice Cream Club. I'm just saying things now. So
It sounds like you got hungry.
I think I said pickleball and it made me think of food.
Pickles.
All right. So one thing I've noticed is that universities tend to host premium travel programs with costs in the 5-figure range, river cruises, safaris, European land tours. And those serve the alumni who have the greatest possibility of being top tier donors in the near term. But I ask, what in your travel program engages alumni in the decades before they become major donors?
Most institutions do a phenomenal job stewarding their most generous alumni. The harder challenge is continuity. How do you stay meaningfully connected to graduates in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, and 50s when they're building careers, raising families, and not yet writing 5-figure checks?
The slice that often gets left behind. Nationally, about 75% of philanthropic giving comes from the small and mid-level donors. Long-term sustainability requires engaging that broad base early and consistently. An alumni cruise fills that gap beautifully.
Ocean cruises are often excluded for predictable reasons. Some assume they don't align with the institutional brand. Others worry that large ships feel impersonal. Some think cruises won't appeal to affluent alumni. But those assumptions are based on outdated perceptions and maybe a few soggy bottom experiences a few decades ago. Modern premium cruise lines offer elevated dining, curated enrichment, seamless logistics, and highly customizable private programming.
Size is flexible. Large ships aren't required. Mid-sized ships under 3,000 guests strike a balance between amenities and intimacy. Smaller luxury ships exist too. Ships of every size sail full every week, millions of cruisers. So that means your alumni are already cruising. They're just not cruising together.
And when you organize it intentionally, you retain full control over the tone, the programming, the faculty involvement, and the branding. It's not about turning your institution into a travel company. It's about using travel as a relationship accelerator.
Let's talk about economics. A premium cruise at roughly $6,000 per couple creates an accessible engagement point compared to high-end land programs that can easily reach 15 to 20,000 per couple. It doesn't cheapen the experience though. It really broadens participation and allows everybody to come in.
And that matters because alumni engagement isn't just about topping the pie with your wealthiest alumni. It's about building loyalty across the life stages. C days create space for faculty talks. Private receptions foster connection. Group short excursions create shared memories. You're strengthening affinity while they're still shaping their philanthropic identity.
And when affinity rises, giving follows. It's a slow bake, not a flash in the pan.
Quick reminder, this isn't theoretical for us. We build group cruise programs professionally. When our alumni office partners with experienced travel advisors, they don't handle pricing negotiations or contracts or payment processing, landing pages, or traveler management.
We manage the logistics, coordinate the cruise line relationships, run informational webinars, create promotional materials, and handle traveler questions one-on-one. They focus on engagement. We handle the dough.
Which means they can host large-scale alumni experience without stretching their internal team thin. And with that, it's time for Ryan's Crusty Review.
So we're talking about college and stuff. So I'm like, I need to go back and dig into my college experience and talk about, because how much pizza does the average college student eat, right? Like a lot. So I went to Clarkson University in upstate New York. It's in Potsdam, New York. There was one street, Market Street, and it had like 3 or 4 different pizza places on there. But it also had a bagel shop. And the bagel shop in my day, and I know I realize it's changed a little bit since then, it's called the Bagelery. And well, the Bagelery that got bought out, and it's a totally different like type of shop now. But back in those days, it was like open till 2 a.m., serving the after bar people. So you can imagine the kind of establishment it was. Now it's nice. Let's say it that way. But
they left their target market behind.
The reason it's landing in the Crusty Review is that my food item of choice there was a pizza bagel, naturally.
Of course.
Yes. And I would get it on an Italian bagel, which it basically had Italian seasoning like jammed into it where the everything seasoning would normally be. Yeah. And I would eat like at least 2 of these at like 2 a.m.
Of course.
It was ridiculous, but they were super, super good. I mean, it's not really a pizza. So how does it fit into the rating scale? We'll give it like a 6 out of 8, but I loved it. So it's one of those things that whenever I organize an alumni cruise for Clarkson, the Bagelery always comes up because it has been a staple for generations. So these are the kind of things that you end up talking about when you organize these trips. You talk about your experience at the university, but it always kind of comes down to, okay, well, what was your favorite food item from your college days? All right, that's my Crusty Review for the week. The Bagelery.
Pizza bagels, guys, and not the frozen kind. So
we should probably talk about them on a future episode because, I mean, I have thoughts on those.
All right, guys, let's do the bottom line on this alumni travel discussion. Alumni cruises don't replace high-end travel programs. They strengthen the portfolio. They broaden access. They extend engagement timelines. They create repeatable, scalable experiences.
Once established, an alumni cruise can become an annual or biannual event, something that graduates anticipate and can't wait to do every year. Tradition builds loyalty. Loyalty builds giving.
And when executed well, the operational lift for the institution is minimal. With the right partner, it's nearly effortless. That's not marketing fluff. That's operational reality.
At the heart of this, it isn't about cabins or itineraries. It is about a shared experience. When alumni disconnect from daily stress and reconnect with classmates in a relaxed setting, barriers come down, conversations deepen, identity strengthens. Travel
creates emotional memories. Emotional memories reinforce belonging. Belonging drives up engagement, and that is the full pie.
Way to put a period at the end of the sentence. So for next week, we're going to pivot back to cruise comparisons.
The Disney dream versus the Disney fantasy.
Two ships, one debate. We're slicing into all the details.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe wherever you like to listen to your podcast.
For more travel insights, strategic group travel ideas, and yes, more pizza puns, visit extracheese.fun and subscribe to our newsletter.
All right, Ryan, we've talked about alumni cruising and pizza bagels, so you have to tell me what's for dinner tonight.
I'm not going to lie, something weird happened last night. I did not finish the pizza that I ordered. So tonight I've got leftover pizza from one of our local shops.
Are you feeling okay?
I didn't try hard enough. Sorry to let you down. But yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, while Ryan's chewing on those leftovers, keep traveling the world.
Slice at a time.